Prayer is one of the most powerful and yet most underestimated forces in human life. To many it may seem like a simple act, quiet words spoken in solitude, thoughts directed toward God, or moments of reflection in silence. But in reality, prayer is far more than that. It is a connection, a relationship, and a source of transformation that can change everything. In moments of joy, prayer feels natural. We give thanks, we express gratitude, and we acknowledge the blessings we receive. But it is in moments of pain, uncertainty, and struggle that prayer reveals its deepest power. It becomes a lifeline, a refuge, and a source of strength when everything else feels unstable. The phrase, "prayer changes everything," is not about magic or instant solutions. It is about transformation, both external and internal. Sometimes circumstances change. Doors open, problems resolve, and unexpected help arrives. But just as often, the greatest change happens within the person who prays. When you pray, you are not simply speaking into emptiness. You are opening your heart. You are expressing your fears, your hopes, your doubts, and your desires. You are acknowledging that you are not alone in your journey, and that there is a presence greater than your own understanding. Prayer shifts perspective. Problems that once felt overwhelming begin to feel more manageable. Fear begins to lose its grip. Confusion starts to clear. It does not always remove the challenge, but it changes the way you carry it. There are moments in life when answers do not come immediately, when prayers seem to go unanswered and silence feels heavy. In those moments, it is easy to feel discouraged. But silence does not mean absence. Sometimes it is in the silence that the deepest work is being done. Prayer is not only about asking, it is also about trusting. It is the act of surrendering control and believing that there is a greater wisdom guiding your life. This surrender is not weakness. It is strength. It is the courage to let go of what you cannot control. When you pray consistently, something begins to change within you. Your patience grows. Your faith deepens. Your emotional reactions become calmer. You begin to see life through a different lens, one shaped by trust rather than fear. The teachings found in prayer remind us that prayer is not just an occasional act, but a way of life. It is a continuous dialogue with God, a constant awareness of His presence in every moment. Sometimes prayer is spoken. Sometimes it is silent. Sometimes it is simply a thought, a feeling, or a cry from the heart. It does not need perfect words or perfect structure. What matters is sincerity. One of the most powerful aspects of prayer is that it brings peace. Even when nothing around you changes, something within you settles. Anxiety begins to soften. Fear begins to fade, and a quiet strength begins to rise. Prayer also brings clarity. In moments of confusion, when decisions feel impossible and paths are unclear, prayer helps you pause and refocus. It gives you space to listen, to reflect, and to discern what truly matters. There will be times when prayer feels difficult, when words do not come, when emotions feel heavy, and when faith feels weak. In those moments, even a simple "help me" is enough. Even silence can be a prayer, because prayer is not measured by length or complexity, but by sincerity. A single honest thought directed toward God can carry more meaning than long, repeated words, spoken without heart. Over time, prayer transforms character. It teaches humility, because you recognize your dependence on something greater than yourself. It teaches patience, because you learn to wait. And it teaches trust, because you begin to believe that your life is not random or meaningless. Many people discover that prayer does not always change their circumstances immediately, but it always changes them. And when a person changes, everything around them begins to change as well. Fear loses its dominance when prayer becomes a habit. Instead of reacting with anxiety, you respond with calm. Instead of feeling lost, you feel guided. Instead of feeling alone, you feel supported. Prayer is also a place of healing. Emotional wounds, past regrets, and hidden pain can be brought into that space. And in that openness, healing begins, not always instantly, but gradually, deeply, and truly. When you pray, you align yourself with hope. Even in difficult situations, you begin to believe that change is possible, that your story is not finished, that something greater is still unfolding. The idea that prayer changes everything is not just a statement of belief, but an invitation. An invitation to pause, to reflect, and to reconnect with what truly matters. It is easy to get lost in the noise of daily life. Responsibilities, worries, distractions, and pressures. Prayer creates a moment of stillness in the middle of that noise. A moment where you remember who you are and who walks with you. And in that stillness, transformation begins. You may not always see immediate results. You may not always understand the process, but slowly, over time, you will notice changes within your heart, your mindset, and your way of living. You become more patient, more peaceful, more grounded, more aware of the presence of God in everyday life. And eventually, you realize that prayer did not just change your situation, it changed you. Because when you bring everything to God, nothing remains the same. Prayer changes everything.